Hi, my name is Mark. Welcome to My Life in Spain. Today I want to talk a little bit about the differences between the food in Spain and the food in the United States. Now, if you've never been to Spain or to Europe and you've only ever eaten American meals in America, it's fine. You don't know what you're doing. In fact, you like this food because that's the food you grew up with. But once you come to Spain, all of a sudden you notice a difference. The food here just tastes better. It smells like it's supposed to smell. You get a tomato, it smells like a tomato. It's not been stuck in a container for weeks on end, bringing it from one part of the country to another or from overseas. Everything we eat here is pretty much sourced here, local. And don't forget, you've got the Canary Islands in Spain, so a lot of winter foods that you wouldn't be able to find elsewhere, we get them here in Spain thanks to the Canary Islands. Now, most people in Spain, well, in fact, everybody eats with the seasons, and they eat a Mediterranean diet, which means lots of seafood, lots of vegetables, lots of salads, meat more so in the winter months, in the colder months, but in the summer it's a lot of seafood. The reason I wanted to make this video is because a friend of mine, Ruben, he went to visit family back in Florida last year, and when he returned to Spain, he was complaining that his stomach hurt. Anyway, he went to the doctor, but I'll leave that for him to tell you. I'm going to go to see him soon, and I'll ask him the question about his experience in America and coming back to Spain. Also in Spain, nobody rushes anything. You'll never see a Spaniard eating on their own anywhere. There's always a group of people, and they'll have lunch, and then when lunch is over, and they don't eat huge portions, they'll eat 3 or 4 smaller portions, but when the lunch is over, they'll hang out for an hour, 2 hours, whatever they feel like. It's called sobremesa. There's no rush here to get up and go. There's no waiter coming over saying, is everything okay? Do you need something more? Would you like to check? They don't rush it because they're not working for tips. Also, you'll never see a Spaniard eating while he's walking, let alone eating while he's in the car. It just doesn't happen here. It's a completely different lifestyle. Everything has its time and place. Getting back to the food, I went to the market today. You'll see it in the video. I was looking for cherries because cherries are in season. Cherries and other stone fruits are in season right now, and the quality of the food is just exceptional. And it's also relatively inexpensive compared to the United States, which I think, according to what people have told me, is getting more expensive all the time. Oh, okay, sure, it's gone up a little bit here, but nothing like in what you're paying in North America now. Now, another reason people probably live longer in Spain, is that it's not just the diet and the lifestyle. It's also the fact that we have preventive medicine here rather than reactive medicine like a lot of people have in the United States. By preventive, I mean you can go see a doctor anytime you want. There's no charge for it. But in America, you're probably going to get co-pays, and you're going to wait till the last minute. And if you're really sick, you're going to go to the emergency room. You're not going to go bankrupt here because of a medical condition. It's just doesn't happen. So like I say, preventive medicine, people go get checkups. They go every year to have a checkup, a physical. They get blood work done. It's a really good system. I wish they had that in the United States. Anyway, getting back to the food in the United States has got so many things in it that's not good for you. They add extra sugar, they add fructose syrup, palm oils, all kinds of things that are really no good for your body. Here in Spain, everything you eat, it's got the minimum amount of ingredients in it. There's no extra sugar added to anything. But also, bakeries here in Spain, they're limited by how much salt they can put in the bread. So even that's restricted. It's a better way. Anyway, I'm going to finish up here now, and I'm going to ask Ruben about his experience when he went to the States. So I'll catch you in a bit. Bye for now. This is local extra virgin olive oil. The olive oil in this part of Spain is really, really good. More cherry is $3.95 a kilo. That's, I guess, the going rate. Okay, those tomatoes are €5 for the box. Are they tomatoes or are they? No, they're tomatoes. So this is the way Spaniards go shopping. They don't just go to supermarkets. Over years, they build up a relationship with the vendors. Oh, these tomatoes look good here. How much are these? I love these really big salad tomatoes, rosa tomatoes. $2.95 a kilo. Don't they look great? It's an offer bananas, $1.95 a kilo. I'll maybe get some avocados as well while I'm here. Red peppers, $2.50 a kilo. These look pretty good. Well, this is local honey. This is excellent for you. If you've got hay fever, they say eat local honey, it'll help. Okay, so here's Ruben now. He's going to tell you about his trip last year back to the United States to visit family and about the food. So I'll pass it over to Ruben.
Well, hello everyone. So here's my story of what happened to me when I went back to the United States in September of 2025 for a month. I had been living in Spain at that time for about a year and a half. And I've become somewhat acclimated to the food. I hadn't really noticed a large difference between American and Spanish food, quite frankly. And I thought that to myself, all that talk about Spanish food is better for you versus American food, it's a bunch of claptrap. So I get back to America. And I start eating like you do wherever you go. You got to eat. The first thing I noticed was that the food tasted different to me than it had previously. I had lost my flavor, the appeal of the sugar and everything had become lost in me, and I no longer enjoyed it as much. But I was used to American food, so I kept on eating it. What happens is, when I grew up in the United States primarily, I also grew up in the Netherlands, but when I grew up in the United States, you get used to a certain food. You go to McDonald's, you think, this tastes good. You go to Burger King, it tastes good. You go to the restaurant chains, and you have the same reaction because you are taught to like particular flavors. In America, the overriding single element in all food is some form of sugar, whether or not it's directly white sugar or brown sugar or high fructose corn syrup or whatever. and they're all forms of sugar, and they are in almost 80% of all American foods, believe it or not, regardless of what it is. Anyway, I got back to America. I got back to the food that I had been used to as youth in America and had enjoyed. And as I said previously, I did not enjoy the food as much as I had before. It just didn't give me that flavor that I wanted, that I guess I'd become used to in Spain, where the ingredients are fresh. It was very difficult to find anything fresh in the United States that was truly fresh. Anyway, I began to get stomach pains. And as I stayed in America longer, the pains grew worse. I, of course, had to continue eating the food, but I noticed that the food just didn't taste as good as the food in Spain, where when I go shopping at the local grocery stores, what I get is fresh produce, sometimes that comes from 10 kilometers from where I live. So I know it's fresh. Couldn't find anything fresh. And the other thing was there were a lot fewer vegetables, and the vegetables that there were weren't fresh. And I guess I'd begun to get used to eating fresh, good vegetables. Anyway, the pain continued, and when I came back to Spain at the end of September, I set an appointment for a doctor because I wanted to know what the pain in my stomach was. So I went to, and I, by the way, was also somewhat constipated from the food I had there. So I went to the doctor. I told him my problem. He ran a panel of tests on me just to make sure everything wasn't bad. And he came back with the diagnosis of what's the word? And trying to think of the word in Latin. I can't remember, but let's call it foodus americanus. I was suffering from American food. He gave me a few pills to help with my constipation. I went home, started eating Spanish food again, and with the little help of the pills he gave me, which relieved my constipation, lo and behold, the stomach pain went away, and it hasn't come back as I've been here in Spain, eating the fresh food that does not have preservatives in it, so I don't feel like a stuffed animal in a taxidermist shop, because there's actually formaldehyde in some American food, believe it or not. Now, I was never a big proponent of European food over American food. I was happy with my American food. It's what I was used to. But after that trip, I have to take that back. I'm not happy with it any longer. And it actually caused me physical pain. And I'm not a doctor or anything, but I would think that it would probably shorten my lifespan. So that's my story. I don't know if you enjoyed it or not, but it's true.
Okay, thanks, Ruben. That was good. We'll wrap up the video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's something a little different, I think. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.